Just a curious observation for those who enjoy stories of time travelers. It's interesting how many stories of time travelers come around major election cycles, especially ones that have a lot of tension and angst and threatening around it, where the outcome of the election really does change the world line in a significant way. There are many reasons, I'm sure, why this is important to people of time, if real, of course. We're assuming that time travel is real here. It would make sense because, let's say, for example, here in America, we have a lot of contention that has been built through programming and through a legal system that is designed to keep people programmed to care a great deal about these things. And there are two divisions that have been played very, very well by those who have power and influence over them, because they do not have control over themselves, so others control them. We spend a lot of time talking about that here on this channel, and I can see by the amount of views I receive that people enjoy their programming. So please, enjoy yourself. Because this election cycle here in America does have a very interesting tone to it. Because long term is built into this one pivotal moment, if you will. There are so many things that will change one way or the other, where you have timeline 1 competing with timeline 2, and then for some reason, both camps of influence who control large numbers of remote-controlled people, the remote-controlled people in each one of these camps are of such great number that they will clash on this particular day. And in that, you will understand your timeline. If one wins, we have a lot of long-term trends and momentum that we'll be dealing with in the legal system, where government will slow down dramatically because of an internal fight of something that is called impeachment to some. And this is a long process and a drain on human attention. And that is one avenue that we can go down, and that is fine. And that will make people realize how government is irrelevant in a lot of areas. And it will change the dynamic with the people. And I'll let you be the judge on how it affects you in your life. Now, the other one is if the impeachment process doesn't go through, but there is another legal battle that will be fought. One that's built in corruption. And this one, you can be the judge on how it'll affect you in your life. Because transparency will become important, and a lot of things that will be ugly in our lives will come forth. We will be happy on one end because we get to shine light on darkness, so to speak, and that always makes us feel like we've won something. But this too becomes long-term. And a lot of introverted concepts will be introduced to the American heart. How we look at ourselves. How do we consider ourselves? Who are we? What have we done? What do we want to do? So this channel has been dedicated to giving you guys a roadmap, and girls, of course, a roadmap, and guidance, real guidance though. One that is built in time, where it will be, hopefully, it is why I built this the way I did. Hopefully, 100 years from now, if somebody listens to it, it'll still be relevant. It'll still be important. It'll still be current. Just like somebody last year would listen to this would feel the same way, or hopefully right now you're resonating with it and you're considering it, thinking, why is this, seems like I need to hear this right now. This feels like this is important right now. Maybe not necessarily this video, since we're talking about elections and things like that. But I needed to give an example of how timeline management works and why these things are important. But they're not important as far as the personalities are concerned. They're important about how reaction is portrayed. Origin, knowing where these things came from. Why do people care so much about these gangs, these groups? It is because they have great power. And people act like they don't want that in their lives. So guess what? They don't have it. Those who have this great influence, at some point in their lives, they have decided, instead of to fight it, to embrace it. And for some reason, you become in touch with yourself. You find yourself. When you realize that you are actually the one with the power. Nobody else has it over you. You give it to them. That's how the system is built. It is a transmission and a reception. It is a relationship-based system. So if you go to the doctor to get assistance for your ailment, you are applying payment and currency, energy, electricity. They're the same concepts built on all levels. It is hyperdimensional in nature. And you're allowing that doctor, through the doctor's knowledge and experience, because you have given the doctor this ability over you and access to you, and the doctor, if he or she is skilled in their craft, will be able to enter into your body and find a diagnosis and understand what it is that you may need for assistance. It is the same process, and that is payment in return for what you have given. Now, what you have given on a mental, spiritual level, or what some call the moral level, is you have given respect to that individual for wanting to find a cure, because you have a thing called care. And care, when you find that, that is treasure, and that is reward. So, I thank you for partaking in these experiments. I thank you for all that you have done to motivate and inspire me, because you have been my teacher. You have been my mentor, my philosopher. And the experiments are over on this end. The mystery was built in there for a very specific reason. In time, I'm hoping that will be understood. Mystery is critical. Would you agree? So, cheers to beauty. Cheers to love. But most importantly, cheers to goodness.